Elijah Savoy. Elijah Savoy is called, please, 22 dash, and Mr. O'Quinn's cause number that I just had those findings was 21 dash 38943, 38943. On Mr. Savoy, this is a review. I hope, we're gonna have good news?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, who, Ms. Valier?
Yes.
And,
I'm his mother, Stacy. Huh?
okay, why are you here?
Because I was here last time. with the-
Why? You play like I don't have 5,000 people here,
You're still talk. So.
special needs. And, okay, but was not declared incompetent or insane. Okay, he's imperfect, like all of us. Why are you here, though?
I'm his mother.
You know what? You can sit down. He's a grown-up unless we need you. Sit down, okay? Thank you. You're ordered. Sit down, please. There's nothing in here that says he is unable to be responsible. He is not insane. He is not declared incompetent. He is an adult. He is imperfect like all of us, and he's going to handle his responsibilities without his mother. Right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, how is he doing?
So since we came to court, he's only paid $150 in fees.
Are you working somewhere?
No, sir.
Okay.
He gets-
Are you trying to work?
Well, they said I can't work at Social Security.
Yeah, he gets Social
He gets
Security.
Social Security.
Yes.
Go ahead. Keep going. Is that it? It's just a money thing?
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's following all the rules.
Well, last month I gave him a UA and he tested positive for THC.
Why would you do that?
Because I thought she wasn't going to drug test me.
I'm sorry, what?
I thought she wasn't going to drug test
You thought she wasn't going to drug test you, so you used the drug. Well, that is an answer, but
Very
it's not
truthful
a
answer.
good answer. You know it's a crime. You can be revoked for that and sentenced up to 10 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So where'd you get the drugs from?
I got it from my next door neighbor.
Did they sell it to you? Just gave it to you?
I threw it on the ground.
Threw it on the ground?
Yes, sir.
And then you picked it up and used it? Do you understand? You can go to prison for up to 10 years for that. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to do that again?
No, sir.
Good. I don't want to know that. We're going to drug test you every time. The next time you show positive for an illegal drug, I'm not going to give you a second chance on that. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's illegal. What else do we need to do on Mr. Savoy so that we can get him successfully through this? That's our goal, right?
Yes, sir.
So you told me to get with his mom to set up like how much she come to agreement, how much she can pay a month.
Well, yeah. Well, how's that working out?
She said what she said was $50 to $100, but it's not guaranteed.
Well, I think that's the way it is for all of us. You pay what you can, or do any help you can. Or is this what's the restitution? $14,000? Correct?
Yes.
It was originally, what is it now?
It's still 14,000.
We hadn't really paid toward the restitution at all.
No.
That needs somehow those people need to be paid back for their injuries. A 71-year-old person was assaulted by you and had those injuries. You need to pay them back somehow. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you trying to do something, some work? Are you trying to find work?
If it's there, yeah, I do it.
Odd jobs,
Sir?
different odd jobs, whatever. Or what's probation office? This is unusual circumstance, but what does probation office suggest?
And at least pay a little bit more.
Yeah,
You know, he gets 943 in Social Security.
you gotta pay some out of that. How much can you pay out of that?
I can't because my mom over it. They got my mom.
How much?
She could pay.
I'll get over it. I'll start administrating it if we don't get some. It's time for you to come up, ma'am. Looks like we need your help. Come on up. I don't want to revoke him, but marijuana, drugs, I mean, that's forbidden. Okay, okay. Let's say that won't happen again.
It better not, because I'll beat his ass myself.
What about getting the injured person, the loss back? That's what we need, a little bit at a time. Is there a way we can freeze everything else from accruing and just prioritizing on restitution?
What is it? I think it's what, inactive probation, that's what, he's not in compliance to do inactive. We can,
Well, the money, whatever monies we get need to be applied directly to restitution first, okay?
Your Honor, we can do all to restitution first, do an amendment to that, or we can do half restitution and half towards supervision fees, whichever way you want to.
At this rate, the restitution, it'll be lifetimes. We need to get that taken care of first. But something needs to be paid regularly. How much can we count on per month?
The last time I was here, and just like I told his probation officer, I'm on a budget myself. Cause I don't make that much, I only make 1,200 a month, if that.
How much can, with his social security and what you're able to
I mean.
provide, how much
after I
can
get through
you
paying,
commit? Hold on, one of us at a time. How much can you commit to helping him pay per month?
From $50 to $100 a month, I do what I can.
$100 is
Can't
ordered.
promise that,
Yeah, well, unless
cause we want him to be out of a house and a home.
y'all got to figure it out. But somebody was injured and he didn't go to prison because of this option. And the most important thing is to pay the loss back. If you don't pay the loss back, then the victims say, well, where's the punishment here? And that's true. He needs to pay the person back for the $14,000 worth of injuries that were caused. 14,374, that's serious. But something has to be done regularly, or else that victim gets heard. Victims have a voice and I listen to them and they say it's not fair. What's the punishment? What is the punishment? You got to do something, but you're talking to a person who started 60 cents an hour. You can get a job. You can work. You're competent. You weren't declared incompetent. You weren't declared insane. You have issues. We all have issues. We just deal with them and move forward as best we can. But you have a responsibility here that needs to get paid under laws and under morality. It's just moral. If somebody is harmed and someone is held responsible, they pay the loss back. Or do you disagree with that logic? You got to agree with it. It's simple logic.
I don't disagree with the fact of what he did. He does need to pay the restitution fees, but the restitution fees, whenever I looked it up, the man didn't press charges, the state did. So we're actually paying state of Texas back, not the man. Because he didn't go to the hospital.
Hold on. The state of Texas paid? That's me. And all the taxpayers.
It's my
Oh,
taxes too.
you owe us all. But when the state pays, you have an obligation to pay the state government. You think they just print money in the back? They just print money?
No.
We pay. The taxpayers fund the state of Texas. That's the only way they exist. They pay my salary. I'm a district judge. It was state pay. They're not printing money. Part of my pay is from me. I pay me part of it because it goes to the state and then it comes back to me and goes to the state in taxes. But don't, yeah, I've heard this so many times and I just roll my eyes. You think that's the way it works? That's the logic some people have gotten in this country because so much is given, but it's paid for by somebody else. They don't have a printing press in the back and print money. We just get in debt that we are all obligated to help pay off. And here at restitution, I can reel on, but I'm not going to anymore. This is simple. You're ordered to pay a minimum of $100 a month. That's the goal I'm going to set so we can get a goal set. And if you can't do it, we'll come back and you can explain how you don't. But I'm going to set that as a minimum. Does everybody understand?
Is that just towards his restitution fees or is that?
It's going straight to restitution. The other fees aren't going to get applied until he pays off the restitution. At the end of the day, there are some cases where court fees are not paid because of financial issues. And we just do the best we can to try to get it. But for restitution has a higher priority. When those others aren't paid at the end, if I deem you can't pay, it's just lost.
How much is the court fees?
I don't know what they are right now. They accrue every month. Because probation fees accrue every month. But that's part of it. When you say court fees, it's probation fees. It's 5 or 6 different things that they have. But let's just worry about restitution. That's our goal. Get restitution paid. And then I'm happy.
Answering.
So,
Do the best you can. All right. We'll see you back in 6 months, see how we're doing. Thank you. Twenty-four CR 1662 is now called the State of Texas versus Eric Joseph Daigle. You are Mr. Daigle. Present with Mr. Grove, your attorney, and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
guess we're just going on one.
Yes, sir.
Paragraph 1 alleges that on or about July 9th, 2024 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed a 3rd-degree felony of injury to an elderly individual. Do you understand what you were charged with here, sir?
Yes, sir.
If convicted, come on, you can do it. Come on, computer. You face a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
An agreement's been reached in your case where you would be pleading guilty and sentenced to 10 years in prison. That would be suspended. You would be placed on regular probation for 10 years, fined $1,000. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily? That is on your own free will and because you are guilty.
Yes, sir.
I show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Understand it, discuss it with your attorney. Are the contents all true and correct?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence.
No objection.
Without objection admitted. Among other things, this states you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged in any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All true, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record here for all purposes and without objection.
No objection, Your Honor.
Pre-sentence reports waived.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me ask you real quickly, who is Clifford Thomas, the victim? What is his relationship to you?
Stranger.
Okay,
He,
They're neighbors. They live on the same street.
okay. It's not a relative.
No.
no, sir.
You can't have any contact with this person.
Yes, I understood.
I'm going to find you pleaded guilty today voluntarily. You were mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this offense. You are hereby sentenced in accordance with this agreement to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. That will be suspended. You were placed on regular probation for 10 years. You must pay a fine of $1,000. There will be other terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. This was, how old are you, sir?
42.
Okay. Apparently, you injured and struck a 67-year-old man. They said the police saw him with a bloody nose and blood on the inside of his mouth. And then you had a cut on your lower right knuckle. And a witness saw you strike the 67-year-old man with the right fist, and he fell to the ground. Why would you do such a thing to an elderly person?
Actually, he had a weapon. He had a weapon in his hand, an object, and he stayed in an abandoned house next door to my house that's actually condemned. And it's like ongoing traffic of drugs and all kind of sort of things. And I actually approached him verbally and asked him, like on other occasions, when me and my kids are out in the front and they playing, could he not be like on those strange stuff watching my kids? And he got irate and the belligerent with the weapon, and I just felt threatened, and I just struck him one time. Yeah.
Okay. You see anything wrong with that?
Yes, sir. Most definitely still.
Have you ever been assaulted or violent before?
Have I been assaulted?
No, have you ever been assaultive or violent before?
Not just physically, just probably when I was younger.
What do you mean?
Like when I was younger growing up, I probably got into a scuffle before, you know. But just like naturally just looking for violence, no, sir.
You've got 2 convictions for robbery.
Yes, sir. But they wouldn't.
Yeah, that's a violent crime. 2 violent crimes. Did you forget about that? You can't even get probation from a jury. If you went to trial, they wouldn't, if they find you guilty, you go to prison, period. And this 3rd-degree felony would have been punished up to 20 years because of, if you were found guilty of this assault because of your prior convictions. Well, the point is what I'm saying is your violent assaultive behavior, which is what robberies are, you got 2 convictions. Punching out somebody, an elderly person, is an assaultive violent crime. You hadn't learned your lesson yet. How long has he been in jail? How long have you been in jail? A while?
Going on 2 months.
39 days.
You're going to do 180 days as a condition of probation. You know better than hurting an assaulting an elderly person after you got 2 robbery convictions. You punch him like that, punch him out. Sorry, as a condition of probation, you're going to serve 180 days. I'm going to give you credit though for time you have served. How much time?
39 days.
It's 121 days. Let's see, 180, 39, 141.
Judge Bobby Hurd.
141 days.
I'm not saying that they were justified back in, but his two robberies were back in 2007, which is sometime since then he has been able to, he's been able to stay out of trouble till this time. And obviously this is trouble. I'm not saying it's not. And and he would not have pled guilty if he did not believe he was guilty. But I think that he has learned his lesson. And
How do you take the punch back from the old man? How do you pull that back and unvictimize him? He had a bloody nose, and
I'm not saying it was justified.
well,
Judge.
until you can figure out how to do that, David, he's doing 180 days as a condition of probation because of his violent history. He doesn't have any business because he knows crimes have consequences, and he's getting probation here. What was your sentences on those robberies? Do you remember?
It's 5 years.
Yeah, you did 5 years in prison on each of those to run concurrently, right?
Yes.
So you went to prison for a violent offense. You come back, you commit a violent crime, and you're getting probation. See, some people might say, I thought things were going to, if you do the same type of crime, it should get higher. But that's not what we're doing here. We're giving you probation. But you still should know better. You know it has an accounting. And I feel sorry, not for you, for the elderly man who got punched by you when you have robbery, when you have assaultive convictions. 141 days, you're given credit. 141 days confinement in the county jail is a condition of punching out the elderly man. His wife can have prior convictions for robberies. That's only just. You can't go do that. You can't harm people like that, sir. Are you learning lessons here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My soul did.
Well, let's compose yourself better when you have to deal with issues, and don't use violence. That's the third time you've been convicted of a felony of violence.